For more on this national issue, let's say hello to Fletcher Cleaves. He is a former high school and college football player paralyzed from the chest down 6 years ago in an auto accident caused by a driver who was texting. And Fletcher celebrates his 25th birthday this weekend. He's also working with AT&T in their It Can Wait campaign. We also say hello to psychologist David Greenfield, who is the founder of the Center for Internet and Technology Addiction. Gentlemen, it's good to have you here. Fletcher, as you listened to those two very personal stories, what was going through your mind?
When I was thinking about, definitely the two stories, the young man who lost his life and then the second story of the guy who caused the accident, it brought back memories about if I could talk to the person who caused my accident and just think about how important it is to not have your cell phone in your hand. Obviously neither one of those gentlemen meant to cause the accident or meant to, get in the accident, but it's just so serious, and it's crazy how technology is affecting everyone's lives.
Dr. Greenfield, we've all done it. We've all been guilty of it. It's right there in your hand, right there in your car.
Yeah.
Why do we do it?
It's, the bottom line is it's addictive. The fact is that a smartphone is essentially the world's smallest slot machine. And every time you get a notification or you think a text comes in or an email or a piece of information from one of your social media sites, you feel a compelling need to check it because of a neurochemical process in the midbrain, a small elevation of dopamine. But essentially, the problem is that it's addictive, and over 3/4 of us admit to doing it, and I think that's an underestimate. And even though the vast majority of us know it's dangerous, the vast majority of us still do it. Some other startling statistics: over 1,600,000 accidents per year, according to the National Safety Council, involving texting while driving. And in our original research with AT&T and the It Can Wait campaign, we found that a vast majority of people continue to text and do many other behaviors on the phone, even though they know it's dangerous.
Fletcher, you're part of that campaign as well. Your story is so wrenching, and it's good to have you certainly with us here today. We've got all the statistics, and they are so. What do you tell people to try and cut through the clutter and make an impact to people?
Well, I definitely try to get to the younger people and the adults because, like I said, kids, they think they've been texting longer than they've been driving, so they think that they can do it, and adults have been driving longer than they've been texting, so they think they can do it.
Yeah.
And the truth is, you really cannot operate heavy machinery going 50 miles, 40 miles, 30 miles an hour without looking at the road. So I just try to be a real-life example of saying, like, this can happen to you or this can happen to your child.
What sort of reaction do you get when you speak with people?
The kids definitely are the strongest ones because they're more so peers to me. And when I go to high schools, I'm not that far removed from high school. I graduated 2009. So, the class right now was 2015, 2016. And, I kind of see me as one of them. And the adults, at the other hand, because I'm also in the corporate America and I, have established myself as a young adult, a young working class citizen, they also see me as a young adult who can, like I said, also connect with them. So right now, I feel like I'm in the age where I can connect to both sides. And I get tremendous results and tremendous feedback from everyone. Oh man, I didn't know, you were playing football, I'm so sorry. Or my son plays football, I will never text and drive again. You remind me of my son, you remind me of my nephew. And it's been a great response since my accident.
So Dr. Greenfield, we've got stories, very important personal accounts such as Fletcher's. We have the numbers, and we can cut the numbers 8 ways from Sunday.
Yeah.
What works in getting through to people?
I wish I had an answer. Obviously, education's important, letting people know that of the danger, but I think most people know it's dangerous. The issue that I don't think people know is how addictive it is, and that they can't use judgment when faced with an addictive behavior. What they have to do is take steps to manage that addiction, either download an app that limits their use, like the AT&T app, or put the phone in the glove compartment or in the trunk, turn it off, put it in the back seat where they can't get it. You have to treat it like it's an addiction. You can't just use your judgment. 25% of all car accidents involve distracted driving. And like Fletcher said, you cannot do a complex motoric task like driving while looking at the phone. It takes many seconds to pick up that phone and answer it or process it. By the time you put that down, you've traveled hundreds of feet.
But it's surprising how many states really have not specifically for passenger cars outlawed it yet.
Yeah, there are some states that the laws vary from state to state. Some states ban texting, but the issue is, how do you know whether they're texting or talking or doing something else? And then the police really struggle with, how do they know what people are really doing, and they're afraid to pull people over, and then the person drops the phone. Vermont passed a law where you can't touch the phone, which is an improvement, but people still keep the phone below the steering wheel so nobody sees that they're using it. So I think laws are helpful, education is helpful, but ultimately I think we may not be able to have them in the car until we can come up with technology that stops the data stream while we're moving.
Yeah. Important question here, Fletcher. How
like
are you doing?
Said about being addicted in darkness.
Yeah.
I'm doing great. I'm doing
great. Tell me what you're doing.
Yes, sir. Well, I've been working here in Memphis, Tennessee in the IT department. I just graduated college from the University of Memphis with a computer science degree. I moved out on my own. I'm just trying to just live my life as a young adult, just in the world, just trying to have fun and become just what we consider normal, quote unquote.
And you think you've reached some people with your message?
I think I've reached many people with my message. I've gotten emails from people from California to Canada to Mexico saying that they saw my story or someone shared their story. And not only is it about texting and driving, but it's also about overcoming obstacles. Recently, I received an email about a lady who had cancer saying that she was about to give up on life. And, it's kind of a sad story, but she saw my story and it made her want to keep fighting. So stuff like that just really touches my heart and it really drives me to keep going and keep reaching people, whether it's through texting and driving or whether it's through overcoming obstacles.
We are so pleased you could be with us today. Fletcher Cleaves, thank you for being with us. Dr. David Greenfield.